Hello everyone and welcome back to Policenauts. This is episode 3. Last time we made it to Beyond Coast and we've been checking out the Beyond Coast Police Department where we've reunited with our old pal Ed and we're about to go and proceed with this investigation. We've checked out every room in the police department so far and it's time for us to move outside and I believe head to Hojo's house to investigate this missing husband, but like under the radar because relations with Earth's investigative unit and the BC PD are not so good. So we got to do it under the radar. Even though for some reason Ed says, "What's the big rush? You barely know anything about this place." Even though I've literally been to every room and I've gotten to know everybody, so maybe there's something that we've missed in this place. Who knows? We have a certain way of doing things here, you have to understand that. But I've been everywhere. Maybe I just need to check back up with our pal Victor at Forensics. Maybe we'll head back to a location and he might have an update for us. Oh, back again? Okay. Any update, maybe? I can't help but think hard-headed old man. Hard-headed, absolutely. I suppose we can add straightforward to that list too. Doctor, what is it? Ask about the analysis results. How'd the analysis go? Well, somebody's impatient. I don't have the results yet. Come back later. Why don't you take a wander around the station or something? Okay, so it wants us to continue going around the station. I have been everywhere. Maybe we'll head back to Vice. We'll be back later, Doctor. Why do I even bother? Alright, we'll head back to Vice, because that's where we started. And maybe we'll have an update from here with our lovely pals, Marrow and Dave. How are things going? I don't know. Don't call me that again, I hate jokes. Yeah? What is it? We can ask about... Oh, we can ask about the other people that we've met in the department. That's a good idea. Alright, let's pick it back up, get some more information. Let's talk about Gates and Victor. So I saw Gates again. Chief Becker. He's something else, isn't he? I'd say he's a charismatic leader with impeccable judgment. Right, Chief? What's that supposed to mean? I think maybe he got something you lost. He still feels like a terrestrial. But ever since he formed AP, he's become a little too self-centered. Tell me about it. AP's budget alone is off the charts. I understand where Chief Becker's coming from, but he's just another bureaucrat now. Let's ask about Victor. Victor, yeah, from Forensics. I don't know him that well, but he seems like a nice guy. Yeah, he does. He reminds me of home a lot. You seem to have a thing for terrestrials. Actually, now that I think about it, Chief Becker and Victor even smell like home, if that makes sense. He plays all innocent, but he's actually kind of a pervert. Can you believe he touched my butt once? Whoa, brave guy. So what happened? I was pissed, of course. And then? He goes, I didn't think you'd mind. That's actually not a bad excuse. Alright, Ed. He plays all innocent, but he's a pervert. Alright. Fuck's sake. Let's talk to Dave about them. Quit staring at me, Jonathan. Dave? Yeah? What do you think about Gates? I met up with Gates. It's like a mini reunion, huh? He's an amazing guy. I get a little nervous around him, to be honest. Hey, come on. I was a Policenaut too. Yeah, I know. I don't agree with Chief Becker's philosophy, but I still respect him. I think maybe that's how everyone feels about him. Gates was always like that. He was the center of everything. He's got this magnetism. Maybe it's his British charm, I don't know. Yeah, the old guy. I like him. He's got something in him that Beyonds don't, I guess. Like how he can be uninhibited and irrational at times. I think the colony might be a nicer place if there were more people like him around. Questionable behavior notwithstanding. You know, pervertedness is something you only find in terrestrials. Really? Yeah, we Beyonds can keep it in our pants. To an extent, anyway. I didn't know that. That's just the way people are brought up here. So Earth is a disgusting, perverted cesspool, confirmed. Not surprised in the slightest. It's very realistic. Maybe we'll head back to the AP room. We're inside the AP room. Now I can investigate the outside area instead of going straight to Becca. So this might be what we need to do. They keep their helmets on even when they're on the station. The helmets are linked to BCP's network. The visor displays a 3D image of whichever data they're working with. Oh, that's so cool. I actually love their gear too, it looks really neat. Just about the only times they take them off is when they eat and sleep. You hardly ever see their faces. What about the guy over there? He's not wearing one. Yeah, he's different. You'll see what I mean if you meet him. He's a Frozener. He's got the purple hair and the pale skin. Just about the only times take them off when they eat and sleep. That won't do their complexion any favors. Alright, let's have a chat to the big boy then. Maybe I'll check out these screens first. These terminals display the data sent here round the clock by the operators. The guy's in the lobby, right? Alright, let's have a chat to him. Oh, is it the same dude? Is it the same guy?
AP だったのか。
Yeah, okay.
トニー・レッドウッドだ。
Tony Redwood.
AP の爆弾処理を担当してるが、エンプス乗りでは彼の右に出る者はいない。ミスター・ゴダードと呼ばれている。
宇宙酔いくらいで参るようじゃ、早くホームのママのところへ帰っていいぜ。それとも、またスチュワーデスに薬でももらうか。ここはビヨンド。あんたのような古いテレストリアルには厳しいところだ。
俺はお前のようにゾンビみたいになるつもりがないがね。ジョナーさん、やめろ。相手にするな。
そうだエド。この次元装置の仕掛けわかるか？
なんだ、いきなり。
あんた、ホームで爆弾処理班にいたことがあるらしいな。
麻薬界入る前のことだ。
通常爆弾の設計者は解体されないようにいくつかの安全策を設ける。ここに赤と青のコードがあるだろう。最後のセーフティー装置だ。このどちらかを切断すれば解体できる。俺がセットしたとしたら、これはどっちだと思う？危険の赤か安全の青か。
レッドウッドのレッド。
どうかアウトだ。
Game over.
に穴が開いたぞ。
Game over.
攻撃的な人間が常に赤を好むとは限らない。答えは青だ。俺ならいつも青にする。
Always blue.
ああ、覚えておくよ。
Cool, interesting. Now, we saw this guy, obviously, you know, on our way here, and when we first got into here, into the AP room, and I didn't know if it was the same guy when I first glimpsed him, because it's same hair, same general look, but we haven't seen another Frozener yet, so I didn't know if maybe that might have been, like, sort of how they look, where it might be like a side effect of the thing or whatever. Like, so I didn't go, oh look, it's the same guy from the thing, but it felt like it might have been, but at the same time, I didn't know yet. So we've got our official introduction. So we did take a ride over. With Mr. Tony Redwood. I wonder if we're still to be suspicious about him. What was an AP officer doing on home, you know, and then coming back around the same time as us, who also potentially has artificial blood? We'll just have to put a pin in that, but I mean, he's a suspect for me at least, because he was there and he lines up with artificial blood. Whether it might be a red herring, we'll have to see how we go. That's the body armor spacesuit APs use. It can take quite a number of hits. If they have their helmet on, they can go out in space just like that. I defused this earlier. Real state-of-the-art device. Terrorists have been using some pretty advanced components in their bombs lately, haven't they? It was a bomb that killed Lorraine. Why'd you ask me about it anyway? You never know when terrorists could strike. Even an old timer like you should be prepared. So it was a timed bomb that killed Lorraine as well. I feel like they're maybe sort of highlighting... I mean, it could be him, but I feel like they're also highlighting some numerous red flags about his character. I don't ever want to have to defuse another bomb. One never knows when one's life might be threatened by one of these. What do you think you're doing? I'm not here to amuse you. He's got a weird air about him. You'd never guess he's a cop. Even among APs, he's unusual. How'd you like to have him for backup? If you don't have a reason to be here, then beat it. Alright, let's talk to him. Got a minute, Redwood? What do you want? Or ask about him. My commanding officer is the chief. My compatriots are the guys you see around you. You're neither of those. I don't have to answer your questions. What makes you think I have time to waste on you guys? You seem like someone with a lot of free time to me. I don't have to talk to anyone outside AP. That includes you, Ed. He's a totally different person from the plane. That, in case you haven't figured it out, that was an act. An act? We can modify our personalities anytime we need to, all part of our training. That would be useful going undercover then, I suppose. What makes you think I have time to waste on you guys? Let's ask about Lorraine's murder. Lorraine? Who's that? Don't know anyone called Lorraine. He really is like a completely different person. Interesting. That's strange. On the space plane, you said you'd gone to visit some family on home or something, didn't you? It wasn't work-related, it was personal. I don't have to explain myself to you. Answer the question. I don't remember saying anything like that. What'd you come here for, anyway? Let's show him the Policenauts photo so he can make fun of us once again. Even if you were Policenauts, that was a long time ago. Look at you, you pair of sad old men. You knew I was a Policenaut, didn't you? Sure, I've studied my ancient history. Funny. That's what the Policenauts are around here. Right, Astronaut Brown? Anyone can go to space now. But it's Frozeners who protect it. This is our territory. Couldn't care less about your photos. I saw it on the plane. And it's cute. Real cute. Cherish your memories, as they say, right? He was saying so... So he remembers stuff from the plane, but then also he doesn't? So it's conflicting information there. Who are they supposed to be? I told you on the plane. I don't know them. Alright, well he's gonna be like that then.
その加えタバコ、まだやめられないようだな。そんな格好でうろうろしてると逮捕されるぜ。気をつけな。
Only saying.
あいにく灰皿が見当たらんのでな。
灰皿？灰皿なら空気感あるだろう。
There's always Vice. The shade. The absolute shade. Alright. So we've spoken to him.
感じ悪いやつだな。一度も瞬きしなかった。フローズナーはみんなだ。あれでノーマルらしい。ノーマル？異常だぜ。彼らは目に人工水晶体の眼内レンズを装着してるらしい。視力は常人の2倍はあるって聞いたがな。あいつらが俺たちの子供かもしれんなんてな。心配はいらん。少なくとも俺とジョナサンの精子は使われていないだろう。だろうな。エドが遺伝的に優れてるなんて。お前は宇宙恐怖症だしな。それにしてもエド、奴に対しておかしくないか。そうか。奴と何かあるのか。フローズナーとは合わないだけだ。
Interesting. Alright. Let's try leaving now. We'll head back to the lobby now that we've spoken to this dude. It's the lobby. Can we go outside now? You need to know this place first, then we'll start looking for Hojo. Okay. Oh, well I guess now that we've spoken to that dude in the AP room, forensics might be ready with the analysis stuff.
お
おう、ジョナサン、分析結果が出とるぞ。
There you go.
ゴールビーも頑張ってくれた。
Good old Gorby.
えらく早いな。
当たり前じゃ。ゴールビー。
Oh, bro. That's so cool.
まずジョナサンから預かったカプセル剤じゃが、
Capsules. Computer on wheels, boy. Oh, this is so sick. Auto analysis identification device.
ジョナサン、無駄足だったかもしれん。わざわざビヨンドまで来たようじゃが、4つのカプセルはどれも徳川製薬が扱う新薬じゃ。インドメタシン ZL、 これはインドール誘導体を含む解熱鎮痛剤。次はパラディソン、これはペンゾジアゼジン誘導体を含む精神安定剤。そしてハイファイトミン、これは B12 を含む水溶性ビタミン。最後はフェドレジン、これは塩酸エンドルフィンを使った交感神経興奮性鎮害剤。
ビタミン剤、風邪薬、咳止め、精神安定剤。
麻薬の一種ではなかったのか。
Okay.
どうやらそうらしいの。これは単なる薬じゃ。それも発売済みのな。
なぜ北条はただの薬を大切に持っていたんだ。
何か細工があるんじゃないのか。製薬会社の社員なんだろ。
カプセルにマイクロフィルムを隠すとか。
そうまで言うのならこれを見てみるんじゃ。4つの薬品の成分と化学組成の分析結果は数値も何もかも徳川が申請している薬と全く一致する。さらにあまりよく知られてはおらんが、正規の薬には全てその内容薬が何であるかを示す製剤識別コードというものが薬の表面か包装に記号化されて示されているんじゃ。この白い部分のマークが徳川製薬製を示し、その横の数字が薬品名を示しとる。これらのカプセルもこの規定に従い製剤識別コードの表示と内容が一致する。つまりごく普通に大量流通している薬じゃ。どれも特別な薬ではなく何の共通性も見出せん。いや、ただ
どうした。
一つ腑に落ちんことがある。これを見てくれ。これはカプセルのコードの拡大画像じゃ。こうしてみるとこのマークは確かに徳川製薬の識別コードなんじゃが、見るんじゃ。三つ葉葵の上の部分が欠けているじゃろ。今のプリント技術ではこんなミスは起こさん。
ああ、確かに欠けている。
しかもこの欠けている部分が右と左で対になってるんじゃ。4つのうち2つが左の歯が欠け、残り2つは右が欠けている。偶然じゃろうかな。
Take the capsules, the missing sides apart, put them
プリン
together or
トミ
something?
スでないとすると意図的な印。徳川製薬品の偽物じゃないのか。
それにもう一つ、このカプセルは封入式でなくキャップ式を採用している。キャップ式カプセルは半世紀も前に使われなくなってるんじゃ。
北条はどうしてこのカプセルを。このカプセルに何があるんだ。そしてこのカプセルのためにロレインも。
しかし徳川製薬が関係していることは間違いない。徳川製薬社員の行方不明、不可解な徳川製薬のカプセル。
ビクトル、歯の方はどうなんだ。
こっちの方はズバリじゃったよ。この葉はブラックポピーの葉じゃ。
ブラックポピー？
黒消しだ。合成麻薬ナークを作る原料となる。
ああ、ニュースで言ってたやつか。
そうだ。毎日合成麻薬ナークに関する事件は大変。
やはり麻薬絡みか。
ビヨンドにおける消し栽培は何年も前に完全に撲滅したはずだ。これはホームから密輸したものだろう。
となると、北条は黒消しの密輸に関与していたのか？
それが、見てくれ。これはこの葉の断面図じゃ。普通ホームで育った植物からは必ず大気汚染物質が検出されるんじゃ。じゃがこの葉はきれいなもんじゃ。きれいすぎる。
つまり地球外で栽培されたものということか。
さらに限定を裏付けるウイロイドの一種が検出された。
ウイロイド？
これがそうじゃ。植物細胞内に感染して増殖する病原体じゃ。しかもこれは5年前にビヨンド内だけで大流行したウイロイド S 型。
ということはこのビヨンド内のどこかで黒消しが栽培されているということか。密輸ではなく。
で、この葉が半分の意味は？
それはわからん。切断面から人工的に切断されているのは確かじゃが。
ナーク取引の際の割り符かな。
さっきの製剤コードと関係しているとは思えないか。
とにかく北条の失踪にはナークが絡んでる。そしてその舞台になっているのが徳川製薬。
ますます厄介だな。これまでにも徳川と麻薬の関係はささやかれていたんだが、上からの圧力もかかってうやむやになっている。数年前に本部長が AP を使って大々的に捜査を続けたが失敗に終わった。
それからか、ゲイツに根性がなくなったのは。
確証がつかめんことには手を出せん。ジョナサン、この件は思ったより根が深そうだ。下手すれば死人が増えることになる。
ともあれ、徳川製薬へ行ってみようぜ。北条の勤めている会社だ。何かわかるだろう。
徳川製薬なら案内しよう。ただし慎重に行こう、ジョナサン。
徳川製薬なら世話になったからな。酔い止め薬で。
他に質問は？
Dude, okay, so that was actually super interesting, and I was like just staying focused that whole time. I actually genuinely love the whole like future science fiction but detective work stuff, like these computer analysis machines and like zoom, enhance, like this is like one of my favorite, and I've already said this before, it's like one of my favorite movies, and one of my favorite like time periods. I love cyberpunk stuff, so I love Blade Runner, and one of my favorite scenes is like the slowest scene of the movie, essentially, which is the, you know, Han Solo, Harrison Ford, just sitting in his room, just enhance, go left, go right, zoom in, you know, and he's just like using like the voice commands to just like observe this crime scene and just going in with like just really slow like detective work, and it's like it's so cool to like get it in this game. It's really neat to see like Kojima giving us a very like long-winded huge explanation of there's nothing wrong with these capsules except this, but like Kojima has never changed in the way that he sometimes like over-explains some things, where he's like, we get like this big long-ass speech about the codes on the pills and how it all works and how it operates, like really like point by point, when it could just be, okay, these pills are standard pills except part of the symbol is missing. But instead we get like so much more like talking about it. But what's interesting is obviously like 2 pairs missing one side, 2 pairs missing the other, and they're like a 2-part thing. I wonder if you need to like rearrange or pop them together and they might be something different. I don't know. And then yeah, the black poppy leaf stuff also being half a leaf with the other half missing. I don't know, there's obviously something there. I'm very curious to figure this one out. So we can go to Hojo's home, or we can go to Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals now. I think we're probably finally good to leave. So we'll have a chat to the doc about any further questions before we head out. Doctor, I'm listening. Let's ask about the NARC and Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals. What can you tell us about NARC? I saw a little bit about it on the news. It's a drug that first became popular with astronauts for relieving the pressures of the job. It's since spread across beyond and the rest of space. It's a semi-synthetic narcotic created through supercomputer drug design. Black poppy opium still serves as its base. Even a couple of milligrams can be enough to kill you. It's difficult to detect in drug tests because it's taken in such small amounts. That's why it's so hard to prosecute users. They just need to look harder, that's all. We've had ways of detecting trace amounts of drugs for a long time, RIA testing for example. Well, that's true, yeah. Some screeners have just stopped trying. Anyway, that's one of the reasons NARC's become so popular. People know the chances of being caught are next to none. Okay. NARC is made first by extracting opium from black poppy pods. After that, you combine it with a synthetic drug made from pethidine and other compounds, and then to that you add a hallucinogen. You end up with the effects of a natural drug, a synthetic drug, and a hallucinogen, one horrific combination. Some people call it the drug of the 21st century because of the way it was developed. It's been nearly 250 years since Turner first isolated morphine from opium. You can blame all the advances of modern pharmacology for that monster. The number of NARC users continues to grow every year. It's just as big as a problem on Beyond as anywhere in space. The black poppy is a delicate plant, similar in ways to some orchids. Cultivating them would require a lot of money, effort, and the right technology. It's more than a one-man operation. It isn't easy growing black poppies in space. That's why the Mafia gave up on it several years ago. You couldn't grow them in such a harsh environment without adequate facilities. So the Mafia isn't behind this? We can't say for sure, but it's not one of their main areas of interest. You'd need the most up-to-date equipment to do it. It wouldn't be like bootlegging during Prohibition. The risks would be too great, it wouldn't be good business. But nevertheless, someone's responsible for it. Right. And who the hell is it? So, you know, cultivating synthetic black poppy plants on Beyond instead of smuggling it from home. It isn't easy growing black poppies in space. Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals is Tokugawa's group's biggest moneymaker after Tokugawa Heavy Industries, Electronics, and Construction. They were one of the first companies to expand into space development. They developed the first made-in-space versions of drugs like interferon and uracanase. They were practically an overnight success. The development of their immunosuppressive wonder drug, cypusiloidine? I don't know how to say most of these drugs, dude, so we're just gonna really run through them. Used in organ transplants, revolutionized pharmacology. Though, of course, the development of masked transplantation, where you mask the organ's antigens with antibody fragments and avoid post-op rejection, ended the need for it. Okay. They lead the pharmaceutical industry not only on Beyond, but throughout space. They work with the cancer drug, Paclitaxel, their SAS medicine, calcium foods. Their list of successes goes on and on. They've had a lot of good results, but you don't hear very nice stories about what goes on behind the scenes. I said before it isn't easy growing black poppies in space, but I bet you think they could do it. It would only be a question of developing the technology. Why don't you try going over there? Let's head out of here. Maybe we'll head back to Vice real quick. Thanks for your time, Victor. We're back at Vice. We'll just have a chat with these guys real quick before we leave. How are things going? Yeah, what is it? We can ask about NARC. There you go. New stuff. I saw a news story on NARC on my flight here. You guys aren't in charge of narc, are you? Even though this is technically Vice, AP handles everything narc. We could never deal with something like that on our own. Seems like a hell of a problem. If you could solve the narc problem, they'd probably give you the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay. It's not easy getting narc off the streets. AP's been on it, but it might be too big of a thing even for them. You guys feel the same way, huh? It's not just them. All Beyonds would just tell you the same thing. The Chief hates narc more than anyone I know. Why's that? Yeah, since when? Why would you especially hate narc? I don't know what she's talking about. Interesting. Maybe I'll quickly head back to AP room and we'll chat with the Chief about narc as well. And then we'll leave. That's Gates, the head honcho. Approach. Let's go talk to him. Gates Becker. Well, how's the inquiry going? Hey, Gates. What is it? We can ask about narc. There you go. Yes, narc. Unfortunately, narc is everywhere and beyond. We have a narc unit in AP, but it just continues to spread. It's that big of a problem, huh? They were talking about it on the news as well. A large percentage of the crimes which occur here are related to narc. People have said that Tokugawa was involved with drugs, haven't they? Yes, I know what you're talking about. We weren't able to prove a thing. How much pressure does Tokugawa put on you? Look, he's got more power than every politician here put together. We've got stringent checks in place to try and prevent any drug smuggling. It can't be that easy transporting something like that into a space colony. And yet the numbers keep going up. Strange, I know. Okay. In that case, I'm heading back to the lobby. Cheerio! Cheerio, Gates! And then we'll head out of here. We can finally move on. Let's go outside.
Yosh, Juno-san.
Yosh. Alright, at least the game doesn't let you leave an area until you've got everything you need. Makes sense.
BCP 前だ。さあ、捜査に出かけよう。足はそこに BCP のポリスカーがある。あれで現場へ向かおう。
BCP. Alright, squad car time. Can't we fly in one of these bad boys? That's the Goddard EMPS model. Appropriate for the colony age, huh? This is almost like a robot compared to the Yuri I tested. Squad car, let's go.
BCP の最新型ポリスカーだ。ビヨンド内では無公害車両しか走行してはいけないことになっているが。排気ガスゼロ。
6 parts electric, 4 parts solar.
併用車だ。
それでここにはガソリンスタンドがないのか。
充電スタンドならあるがな。ホームと違ってバッテリーの重金属回収も徹底され。
That's cool. Let's drive, baby. Let's go to Hojo's house first.
ダメだ。北条の住所がわからん。
Let's not go to Hojo's house first. What do you mean? Can't you just look it up?
徳川系の
Can't access any data.
BCP のコンピューターからはアクセスできないんだ。
Damn.
徳川に関するあらゆるデータは企業秘密として法律で守られている。だから名簿にも載っている。
They're a tough nut to crack then. What fucking year is this? Interesting. They're gonna be a tough one to crack and get any information on. Looks like we are just headed straight to Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals. Let's go, baby.
ジョナサン、乗れよ。
Jonathan.
何年ぶりかな。江戸の無茶な運転を体験するのは。
ホームのスポーツカーとは違う。そんなにスピードは出ん。安心しろ。コンピューターのサポートシステムを搭載した知能カーだ。
ちょっとは安心だな。
Self-driving cars? Or not? Let's have a look.
なんだ。
あれが最新のパトロールの方法だ。コロニー内をわずか数十分で巡回できる。
俺たちはまさに時代遅れだな。
さあ、俺たち流の捜査に出かけよう。
So sick.
ジョナサン、タバコはダメだ。
禁煙者か。
コロニー内での喫煙は禁止なんだ。
No smoking anywhere, bud.
副流煙の出ないものだ。肺がんになるのは俺だけです。
ここはホームとは違う。ここでの喫煙は立派な犯罪だ。しかも肺を提供するドナーにもなれん。道徳的にも恥じる行為だ。
火はつけん。口に加えてるだけだ。
しかしいつからだ。昔は吸わなかったろ。
迷惑はかけん。
ここにしばらくいればやめられるぞ。
そうかな。
そうさ、必ず吸わなくなる。そのうちな。
Kojima loves to have his main characters smoking, but then not really, only sometimes. And then also the constant reminders of smoking's bad while showing it at the same time. It's very interesting. Tokugawa
徳川
Pharmaceuticals.
製薬のビヨンド研究所だ。まずはここから捜査に取り掛かろう。
Alright, we're at Tokugawa R&D, baby. This is the building's nameplate. It says Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals Research and Development Facility. It's written in Japanese too. Look at all these trees! It's almost a small forest. Jonathan, these trees are privately owned. They all belong to Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals. How do you know? All plants and beyond have control plates on them since they're monitored by computer. What? Looks like a lamppost. That type of lamp has a built-in light sensor with automatic cutoff. All energy on Beyond is conserved wherever possible. Nothing goes to waste. That's the Tokugawa. I'm just going to assume logo. Aoi? The Tokugawa Aoi? The Hollyhocks. It's the Tokugawa group's logo, borrowed from the Tokugawa family crest. Alright, hold on. Let me just quickly... Because it's obviously using, and this is an English translation, there's going to be some other things that I'm not familiar of, so I'm just going to quickly search that. And if I could ask, alright. Just want to quickly. Apparently it's AOE. AOE. AOE is how it's pronounced. What is its meaning? Aoi is a name of Japanese origins. It's traditionally given as a first name. It can be used as a surname. It's a name that can be given to either gender. The meaning of Aoi is the hollyhock plant. It's there it is. Okay, Aoi is the hollyhock plant. Gotcha. Look at how big they've got it up there. You can't miss it. Alright. This appears to be the front entrance. Hey, it's open. Let's go. Let's go inside.
ヨナさん、それじゃあ中に入ろう。
Jonathan. Let's enter the high-tech pharmaceuticals R&D facility. Let's check it out.
ここは徳川製薬の研究開発ビルだ。関係者以外の立ち入りは禁止になっているんだ。悪いが、お引き取り願おうか。
We got the camera watching us upon our entrance here. Surveillance camera. Colonel, a surveillance camera. Snake. Lately, they've been able to put security camera monitoring under computer control. Hey, what do you think you're doing? It's a security camera. It looks like they've got them in every area. What do you guys want? Alright, let's talk to the guard, even though we're having a look around. He must be a security guard here. He's a little short, but he's well built. He looks like the kind of guy who's done martial arts before. What do you guys want? I'm a short king. My desk is really low down for me. It makes me look taller. And my chair's up real high.
BCP のものだが、ここで働いている北条健三のことで話が聞きたい。
Yeah, this isn't gonna work.
警察？なんだ BCP か。俺はここの警備兼受付。
Michael Saito, one of the security guards.
で、どういう要件だ？
Let's ask about Hojo first, I guess.
この研究所に北条健三という男が勤めてるはずだが。
ああ、確かに北条さんならうちの社員だ。何年も前からこの研究所で働いてる。俺なんかよりもずっと古いさ。
実は北条氏の捜索願いが出てるんだが。
捜索願い？そうか。それじゃあもうオープンなんだ。
Okay.
今なんて？
いや、会社の方から信用問題になるからしばらく様子を見るようにって言われてね。
マスコミに騒がれるとまたイメージダウンだからな。
まあ早い話がそういうこと。うちほどのグループになるといろいろと妬まれたりするから。
それで北条氏はいつから？
それがもう3週間にもなるかな。北条さん連絡もなしにぷっつりと来なくなったんだ。それでこっちも困ってるんだ。どうしていいものやら。家族の方からも問い合わせがあるし、会社からは口止めされてるしでね。
Interesting. He's being a lot more cooperative than I thought. I thought he was going to be like, we're not authorized to tell you anything. Get out of here. But he's actually been quite cooperative. So 3 weeks, and the company has asked them not to say anything. Oh, can we get the information? Interesting. I'm going to ask about this stuff first. So let's have a look. Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals. Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals pioneered made-in-space drug development. We're now the world leader in pharmaceutical technology with a track record that speaks for itself. We're one of the true colony-age businesses. I suppose our Japanese management style is one of the reasons for our success. Okay. We're also involved with the production of designer foods and functional foods. The company holds large shares of markets besides pharmaceuticals. So let's go at the facility. What is it you guys do here? This is Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals Research and Development Facility on Beyond. Our main focus here is our DDS work. The other area of interest is the factory where we manufacture drug samples. I've mentioned everything I can, the rest is top secret. That's about him. Are you an actual Tokugawa employee? Are you with a security company? I was originally an assistant here, but with my physique, they decided to put me on security. I'm still an official employee. Therefore, I do hold a certain level of knowledge about our operations. You couldn't call me an expert anymore, though. Were you born on Beyond? Yes, I'm a Beyond, born and raised here on the colony. My parents are Japanese terrestrials. DDS. What's this DDS you mentioned? I can see it on the window in the back there. It stands for Drug Delivery System. DDS development looks at new ways to deliver drugs. Before, all drugs had to go through the process of absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. That meant only a small amount of the drug ever reached the target area. You with me so far? So the goal of any DDS product is to ensure the necessary amount of a drug is present in the target area at all times. You get all that? Not really. They did this in the past through ribosomes or microspheres, in the case of cancer drugs, for instance, with their numerous side effects. This guy's a walking encyclopedia. In other words, a DDS treatment is like a targeting system that sends a drug exactly where you want it to go. It's also called the missile treatment. So it delivers a drug straight to the diseased area. Is it accurate? Of course. What's more, you can also control how much is released and when it's released. The artificial bones made out of bioactive cement used in people with osteoporosis and certain rheumatic disorders are also a type of DDS. Geez, what isn't DDS? It covers a wide area, yes. Injections and oral medications can be DDS as well. Though I should mention that we don't conduct research on pro-drugs or anti-drugs here. Okay. Let's ask about Hojo's disappearance. You have any idea what happened to Hojo? Well, he was a real workaholic. Maybe all the stress finally got to him. He was holed up in here almost non-stop in the weeks before he disappeared. He could have gone back home. A lot of terrestrials do that. You mean return syndrome? That's when someone who can't cope with living on Beyond anymore leaves their family and job behind and disappears to home. It happens a lot in our company, since we have so many Japanese employees. Japanese people can be like that. Okay. I'm sure there would have been word if he'd been involved in an accident or something. Maybe he really did just want to get away from this place. Hojo's job. What does Hojo's job involve? He's head of DDS development here, and also the sales rep for the DDS products. The latter involves distributing information to hospitals and doctors about new drugs developed here. Anyone else work with him? Mr. Hojo ran just about the entire research thing himself. Research, development, and marketing. I heard he had several assistants before, but they all left. He did it all himself? Yeah, at least nowadays, only a very select number of extremely intelligent people work here. But still, it's like this. Our company is very paranoid. Mr. Hojo's work in particular is highly classified, even within the company. Okay, Hojo's behavior. How did Hojo seem before he disappeared? Anything unusual about him? He just finished work on a new product. Everything went well, as far as I know. Did he appear worried about anything? If he was worried about anything, I'd say it would be his daughter more than his work. His daughter? Yeah, because Karen is sick, right? Hojo's daughter. He said she was very ill, that she needed a bone marrow transplant, something like that. Her name's Karen. He said drugs couldn't cure her. Cruel irony for him. Mr. Hojo loves his daughter very much. He never stopped thinking about her. Okay. New product. What's this new product Hojo was working on? That's going to be classified. All I can tell you is it's the newest product in our DDS line. Sorry, officers, but the rest is classified. There's a lot of competition in this industry, and I have a job to keep. Now we'll ask for Hojo's address. Where does Hojo live? The most exclusive area of Tokugawa Hills. You can't miss it. Huge place at the end. Tokugawa Hills, huh? That's a high-priced residential area. A lot of Japanese live there. All Tokugawa-related information is protected by law, right? I'd think anyone desperate enough could get a hold of an address. Well, it's not like I didn't have a clue where he might live. It's just better to get their permission. Okay. Alright. We can show him some stuff, and then it's just going to be the same thing where they just go, "Ah, yeah, cool, Policenauts." I know that picture. Our president was one of the Policenauts, so we see it a lot. Why are you showing this to me? Yeah, it's always just funny. It's like, why are you showing this to me, dude? This is you, isn't it? What does this have to do with Mr. Hojo? Yes, that's Mr. Hojo. The woman next to him is his wife. He has the same photo in his work area. I hope you can find him, for his family's sake. Alright. Well, we actually know Hojo's address now. That door looks pretty thick. You wouldn't be able to force it open. It's the type of door you get with a walk-in safe. Whatever's back there must be important. Sorry, but you can't go back there, not without President Tokugawa's permission. Look, a magnetic lock. The security level for this area must be higher than the others. Only the real eggheads get back there. Can't let you in there, doesn't matter what you say. That's a second floor walkway, probably used for giving tours or for the guards to move about. The place feels like a military base with this layout. Alright, I guess we'll leave. It's a security booth. The security guard's sitting behind it. Terrific. Where's the cute girl? Okay. Yeah, over here. That must be the DDS lab. It's the DDS room. That's where the DDS R&D takes place. It's more or less Mr. Hojo's personal lab. This must be the lock system for the room. An ID card reader. Security must be tight. You need a Tokugawa ID for that. It's the DDS room. Maybe we can get Hojo's ID and end up exploring in there. Alright, let's... It's obviously not going to let us go through, so we may as well just leave. Oh, apparently not. Wait, Jonathan, as long as we're here, we should at least look for clues. Okay, maybe let's...
その北条の研究室 DDS ルームの中を見せてもらいたいんだが北条の足取りを探りたい
頼む何か手がかりがあるかもしれんあんたら無茶言うな無茶は承知だ
こいつの言う通りにした方がいいぞかえって面倒にな
待ってくれ面倒はごめんだ
悪いようにはしない
参ったな参ったんなら入れてくれ DDS ルームだけなら会社には内緒にしてくれよ俺はビヨンズなんだこんなことが会社にバレたらここで働けなくなる大丈夫だ約束するそれじゃあロックを解
I was not expecting to get into this place
さあ DDS ルームだ北条さんがいなくなった時のままの状態だあんまり触らないでくれよ
Okay. Let's take a look around. Is that your ID card? Every room in the building requires an ID. You can't go anywhere without one. Sir? He's even more intimidating when he stands up. What do you want to know? Okay, it's just the same stuff. Let's take a look around the lab. It's a wall video phone. It isn't connected to an outside line for security reasons. That's a partition. When DDS development first started, this area was quite big. Each K-Series product had its own team. These were used to separate them. Recently, K-Series development has become more secretive, so only Mr. Hojo is involved. We don't really need these anymore. Okay. What's this? That's a computer, you dumbass! That's the Tokugawa Group's network terminal. It's called the T-Gear 99. All the computers in the group are connected via network. It's used for employees for correspondence and work. It's a special type of hardware not available to the public. If this wasn't connected to the network, it'd be totally useless. It's a T-Gear 99. Alright. Family photo. He's got a 2D photo here. Insinuating there are 3D photos. Where's the 4D photos? That's what we really want. Mr. Hojo always keeps pictures of his family around. It's unusual for a Japanese in the workplace. That's his wife next to him. He talked about her a lot. This is the same photo Lorraine gave me. As you can probably tell, Mr. Hojo was a jealous guy. He was very protective of his wife. Kenzo Hojo. He seems like a down-to-earth guy. Lorraine. That's Mrs. Hojo. Yeah, you want to tell me about these grey squares in the background? What are these? Because it's supposed to be white. They messed up on the Photoshop. When you try and Google image save a PNG and they lied to you. Oh, I don't want to move to reception. Hang on. It's all medical text and pharmacology files. I wouldn't have a clue what they say.
ああ、それは北条さんが使ってたホワイトボードだよ。あの人几帳面だったからいつもそこに予定を書き込んでいたんだ。
これは北条の筆跡か？
間違いない。北条さんの字だ。
確か北条が消息を絶ったのが15日。
15日。予定が書き込んであるぞ。
この100の下は日本語か？
それはセットだ。
15日 K9 100セット
BCCH 何の略だ？
うちが薬を卸してる病院さ。
この下の落書きは何だろう？なんかのマークかな？
猫の足跡みたいだな。
A paw print. As the mysterious music plays. Mr. Hojo's whiteboard. Pretty sure what's written here is in fact what Mr. Hojo did that day. K9, 100 sets, BCCH, and a paw print. This plate has holograms of various K-Series products. They're all Mr. Hojo's work. K3, okay, so K9 must be the new drug. Or like one of them. K3 is a DDS that mimics contact lenses. It uses transmucosal delivery system where the drug is absorbed through the ocular mucous membranes. Drug contact lenses. It was the first product in our DDS line. It gathered a lot of attention at the time. K5... Oh, okay. Well, no K4. K5 is a DDS that takes the form of a patch. It uses a transdermal delivery system where the drug is absorbed through the skin. So it's like an ordinary electroporation patch. The advantage of a transdermal system is that you can supply the drug for several weeks with one application. In the past, it was mainly used for delivering nitroglycerin and angina medication. They also used it to treat osteoporosis and asthma now. K6, okay. No? Where's K4? K6 is a DDS where the drug is absorbed through the buccal mucous membranes. It frequently used to treat problems like stomatitis. Stomatitis, I think? Sorry, not stomatitis. Stomatitis. It's frequently used to treat stomatitis. That one is a little different from the others. That's a mosquito, a mosquito-type micro machine that we tried to use for administering injections. Oh. Mosquito gear. That medical establishment fiercely opposed it, however, so right now it's only used for drawing blood in certain cases. Companies used to make a number of self-propelled micro-machine capsules for certain parts of the body, but it was too difficult making them the right size for the circulatory system. Micro-machines aren't very common in medicine, at least when it goes to the general public. The use of nanomachines is even further down the line. Nanomachines. Alright, this one looks empty. What's the blank space for? That's reserved for K9. We haven't revealed it to the public yet. We're still gathering data at the moment.
ちょっと待った。K9100 セットだって。
100 sets of K9.
K9 ってまだ商品化されていないんだろう。どうして病院に100セットも。新製品は許可が下りた時点で発売までの間にサンプルテストを行うんだよ。テストといっても副作用とかじゃなく、二次的なデータを集めて生産や営業への参考にするためさ。それで100セットっていうのは腑に落ちんな。
その病院で確かめてみた方がいいな。
そのサンプルはどこで作るんだ？ここの試作工場さ。そこを見せてもらえないか？それは無理だ。
100 sets of a new drug that has not been revealed to the public. Do you think that the hospital would be using that drug and testing it on patients to see if it actually works before revealing it? Therefore, like, making, like, people in the hospital, like, guinea pigs of science and medicine? That's where K9's gonna be added. So K3, 5, K6, assuming that might be K7, maybe? I don't know. So we don't have... This hasn't been named as a K, so it might not be. So we don't know what K4, 7, or 8 are. And K9 is the mystery. Interesting. They've got a lot of different machines here, just what you'd expect for a place like this. Mr. Hojo used these in his research. I don't know what's what, to tell you the truth. There's a master-slave manipulator too. These cost a lot of money. Sure do. Nothing but the latest and greatest. It's not easy getting your hands on this stuff. Big difference from Victor's stuff. Alright, let's try and use this bad boy. You mind if we check it out? I can't permit that. You would have access to classified information. Of course, you need to pass the security checks before you could get online anyway. Okay. Can't investigate that thing. What are these cables on the ground, dude? Talk to me about what this chair is. Can't have a lab without chairs. These are Mr. Hojo's chairs. I guess it helps having more than one. One for each butt cheek. Okay, 100 sets of K9 delivered to the hospital. So we're better off asking at the hospital. I guess we're probably good to move away from here now. Finished? Alright, let's leave. Transition! And he's in the same spot. What's behind you now? What's over here? What's this? That looks like the facility's floor map. As a rule, we don't discuss details of our floor plan with anyone outside the company. We can see it with the guard out of the way. Still can't make much of it. Okay. I think now that we've done that, we can probably go to the hospital, right? Why don't we keep looking around here? Let's see what he knows about BCCH. Actually, that's a good idea. The game's making me be a better detective by making sure I ask every single question. Even though I feel like I'm being thorough and there's still more. Sir, what is it? I'm going to ask you about BCCH. Oh, hang on, there was something else on that up the top there as well. BCCH stands for Beyond Coast Central Hospital. It's the biggest hospital in Beyond, making it the biggest single market for us. Yeah, I'm familiar with it myself. Several of our employees work from there. We have a very close relationship. We get most of our product data from them. Ask about the 15th. So according to the whiteboard, Hojo, on the 15th of last month, went to BCCH, right? He just left after lunch and never came back. That's the last time I ever saw him. So we know Hojo went to BCCH that day. Hopefully we can pick up the trail there. The importance of our relationship with BCCH can't be understated. Least of all, Mr. Hojo's work there. Alright.
よし。北条の足取りも分かったことだし、失礼しようか、ジョナさん。
いいか、くれぐれも会社には内緒にしてくれよ。俺が署内を案内したなんてな。分かってる。助かったよ。
Nice. We're outside Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals. Alright, we can now go for a drive. So, we have the address for Hojo's house, we also have BCCH. We're gonna actually try Hojo's house now.
いいか、ジョナさん。北条家へ向かうぞ。
北条の家か。
Hojo's house.
どうした、ジョナさん。
気が進まない。触れてはいけないのかもしれない。
ジョナさん、もう片足を突っ込んでるんだ。引き返さない。
ああ、
避けては通れん。
分かってる。北条家、ロレインの家。
Yeah, I figured we should check out the house because we got that information first, and then we'll go to the hospital. It looks to be in that order on the list of destinations anyway as well. So we'll check it out. Nice place. The Hojo
ここが
Residence.
北条家らしい。
How are we gonna get in?
ここにロレインが。
娘のカレンがいるはずだ。
Oh, true.
彼女に話を聞こう。
There is still a daughter.
ジョナさん、娘のカレンは BBC の人気キャスターだ。カレン北条。聞いたことがあるだろ。
ロレインがそんなこと言ってたな。ニュースキャスター？もしや。
彼女はロレインの生き写しだ。
ロレインの娘か。
いいな、ジョナさん。30年も経っているんだ。お前にとっては3年前のことに思えるかもしれんが、冷静に受け止めるんだぞ。
That's always a thing to keep in mind. Like, it's been a long time, dude. It's been a long time. We can't see inside for the adjustable glass. With the colony shaped like a cylinder, normally both neighbors are able to see inside your house. It's one of Beyond's biggest problems. Look at all the windows they have. This place faces the central axis. They must have a nice view. You wouldn't normally have so many windows. It's the front door. There's a doorbell next to it. They've got a security camera too. Let's go. You ready? I'll ring the doorbell.
はい、どなたですか？
BCP のものです。ちょっとお話を伺いたいのですが。
BCP？ ちょっと待ってください。セキュリティを解除しますから ID をカメラに向けてください。
こうかな。
ロレイン。いや、カレンさん。
Come on, Jonathan.
ええ、カレン北条です。あなたは？ジョナサン・イングラム。あなた、イングラムね。
ああ、
Ah,
そうだが。
she knows us.
帰って。どうして私たちの家族につきまとうの？これ以上私たちを苦しめないで。お願いよ。
カレンさん、そんな気はない。俺はただ地球でロレインに、君の母親に頼まれたんだ。父親を探し出してほしいって。
その母さんもあなたに会いに行ったばっかりに。どうして父や母が。どうしてなの？あなたよ、ジョナサン・イングラム。いつもあなたが原因よ。あなたが母を殺したも同然よ。つきまとうのはやめてください。父は私が探します。帰ってください。
カレンさん、あなたはジョナサンを誤解してる。
あなたは？
私は BCP の風紀家のエド・ブラウン。ジョナサン同様、君の母さんの古い友人だ。ジョナサンがロレインや君たちを苦しめるなんてとんでもない。俺はこいつと古い付き合いだ。 こいつのロレインへの気持ちは誰よりも知っている。
知ってるわ。母さんもあなたのことをずっと思ってた。母は父にいくら言われてもあなたの写真いつも持ち歩いていたもの。父さんかわいそうだった。母さんは忘れなければならなかったのよ。そのことで父と母は喧嘩が絶えなかったわ。私はそんな二人を見て育ったのよ、幼い頃から。ジョナサン・イングラムを恨みながら。
知らなかった。すまない。
カレンさん、君の気持ちはよくわかる。だがジョナサンを恨むのは間違っている。こいつはつい3年前まで宇宙をさまよっていたんだ。
カレンさん、聞いてくれ。君も君の父さんも大変な事件に巻き込まれてるかもしれない。俺は君たちを助けたい。君たちの力になりたい。
カレンさん、どうか分かってくれ。
分かったわ。うるさくされると迷惑だから。中に入って。
She's like, okay, fine. Okay, fine, I like you. Begrudgingly.
さて、どうしましょう、刑事さん。
Nice place,
素晴
dude.
らしい。
Nice house. Got the widescreen TV and the magical futuristic crystal ball, son. Let's have a look at the crystal ball. It's got its own special 3D render. It's the fish ball. What's this? It's a biosphere. It serves as a model of the Celeste. Celeste stands for Closed Ecological Life Support System. You don't need to give it any food or oxygen. It's totally self-sufficient. Like this model, if the colony's balance were disrupted, it would become unable to support life. It's a fucking sealed off fish bowl. That's seaweed. The seaweed uses the carbon dioxide, inorganic compounds, and sunlight to carry out photosynthesis. There's a baby shrimp. Shrimp bowl! They're mates, are they? The shrimp receive food and oxygen from the seaweed and in return produce carbon dioxide and organic waste. The water is maintained at 25 degrees Celsius. The bacteria oxidize an inorganic waste, producing carbon dioxide and inorganic compounds. Bacteria soup! Okay. What about the stand? No information about the stand? Kojima, how could you not give us information about the stand, or the table, or the background? That's a coral fragment. Alright, I'm ready to stop looking at the cool fishbowl now. Looks like a comfortable sofa. Nice colour too. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a nice colour. It's kind of looks like runny poo, but that's fine. The colour of the future, runny poo. It's one of those chaos sofas. Its feel changes depending on who's sitting on it. There's built-in sleep sensors as well, of course. Built-in sleep sensors. Well, I'll be. Future couches, bro. That's one of Mum's flower vases. She did a lot of flower arranging. Lorraine always did like flowers. This isn't a zero-gravity ceramic, is it? That's unusual for Beyond. Right? It's porcelain. Mum probably ordered it from home. Flowers and plants reminded her of home, I'm sure. What are these things? What are your void rectangles? Ah, they're speakers. What do these speakers belong to? They go with our home entertainment system there. Are these the new cordless speakers with biomaterials? Right. It's an infrared system with no dead areas whatsoever. They're ultra thin, and you can even decorate them with photos or paintings. Yeah, but Dad has never been one to do that. Kojima's home video setup. Look at this. Man, a high-fidelity, all-in-one home entertainment system employing 3D sound mapping and VR! With this system, composers are able to create a truly immersive sound experience that blows old surround stuff out of the water. It's made by Tokugawa Electronics. Dad was able to get it at a reduced price. You got any movies on your TV? It's a wall-mounted HD TV. Guys, HD TV from the 90s. It's got a chaos system too. What is this chaos system though? You can set the hue to change according to your emotions. Like if you're laughing or crying. Chaos again. I remember these things heading this way in the 20th when they brought out washing machines and ovens with neural networks and fuzzy logic and so on. You're welcome to turn on the TV. Oh, that's so sick. People put RGB lighting behind their TVs to mimic the imagery and sound on screen nowadays. But one that mimics your own emotions is an interesting choice. It's a wall-mounted HD TV. Yeah, fuck it. What's on the TV? Tell me what's on the telly, mate. Want to have a look at the news, innit? Yeah, it is the news. I was wondering if they were going to play anything else, but no. Hey, Karen, you're on TV. There she is. BBC.
こんにちは。ニュースオーダーの時間です。
Konnichiwa. Is it going to be the same news story or something else?
ビヨンド建設記念日を間近に控えた今日、地球へ帰ろう運動の決起集会が行われました。集会には約1万人以上のリーペイトリエイティストらが徳川ビル前に集まり、BCP の間に衝突もありましたが、怪我人は出ておりません。BCP では建設記念日に向けてテロ活動への警戒を呼びかけています。以上、カレン北条がお伝えしました。
The BBC news theme is such a bop, dude. It's you.
これ録画ですか？
いいえ、CG 合成です。
What?
私のデータからコンピュータが作り出した本物そっくりの映像です。
Dude. She's CG! They're CGing humans on the news. It's probably because of her illness, so she can still be like the news receptionist. I mean, they use that technology now, dude. I want to see if there's another news story. I guess she would get paid for her likeness, and maybe she records with her voice, unless they use like an AI to simulate her voice as well.
次の話題です。ビヨンドコースト誕生30周年記念の催し物が各地で行われている中、ビヨンドの老朽化が深刻化しています。中でもミラーの老朽化が特に進んでおり、就航率の低下が危惧され、早急に対策が必要とされています。これに対し宇宙推進事業団では10年計画でコロニー内の全パーツを取り替える方針を検討しているとのことです。以上。
Not built to last, huh? They're like, let's move to another place in space. Oh no, it's deteriorating. I'm gonna try looking closer next time. Interesting. Tell me about the whole CGI thing. You're a CGI on the news. That's interesting. Karen, you seem, how should I put it, different in person than on TV. You're still just as charming, of course. They use CG to make me look better on camera. CG? Think of it as digital makeup. It's to cover up my complexion. Are you sick right now? Actually, my problem is more than temporary. It's an honor to meet you in person like this, Karen. I'm used to being looked at through a camera, but I feel kind of embarrassed when people stare at me in person. Is it alright if we ask you a few questions? What is it? Ask about the important stuff, like the CG on the TV and nothing to do with her father. Let's show her these stuff first. Mum used to show me this. I brought it with me to prove who I am if need be. Other kids had picture books. I had this picture. She never told me why she showed it to me. It's like, Mom, can you read me a bedtime story? No picture books for you, but here, look at this photo again. But I'm not gonna tell you why.
カレン、この写真。
この写真。
ロレインとの写真だ。
処分は君に任せる。
どうして？
ロレインはここにいる。このビヨンドに生きている。俺のところじゃない。処分は任せる。
わかった。
Interesting. So that's what we did with Lorraine's photo. We give it to Karen. And then Karen's going to look at that being the spitting image of Lorraine and be like, man, it looks like a photo of me and Jonathan now. That's a picture of Mum and Dad. Where'd you get it? Your mother gave it to me on home. I'm sorry, but we still need this for the investigation. That's okay. I have another copy of it. Everyone's got a copy of it. Okay, ask about her parents. This can't be an easy thing to talk about, but it is necessary for our investigation. What can you tell us about your parents? My father is a terrestrial who immigrated to Beyond shortly after it was completed. Your mother told me that they met at Tokugawa's festival for Japanese people. Yes, that's correct. He said Mum was inconsolable after your accident. Lorraine. He devoted himself to her. They married 6 months later. Mum couldn't forget you. The stronger Dad's love got, the more his jealousy grew. That's when their relationship turned sour. Mum still kept all the pictures she had of you. One day, Dad found them and burned every last one, including her copy of the one you just gave me. She had no pictures of you left after that. Sheesh. Let a woman grieve. She married you and had a child with you. If you maybe were a bit more understanding, you might not fight so much, man. Like, the love of someone that you lost, it's understandable. It's not going to really go away, even ever. But it doesn't mean that she can't love you too, bud. I'm gonna get jealous over a potentially dead man and burn all of the bodies of my wife's trauma because I hate him. They argued constantly, but they stayed together for my sake. That's a real Japanese thing to do. So their relationship, because of it, was just like super strained. What does your father do at Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals? All I know is he's involved with developing new pharmaceuticals. To your understanding, what kind of work is it? I don't know. He never talked much about it. He never discussed his work at home? Not with me, anyway. Did he say anything you think might help us? Well, one time, I can't remember when exactly, he broke down in tears saying he wanted to quit Tokugawa. He said, "They tricked me, I hate my fucking job." Holy mackerel! That was it. That was all he said. He never mentioned it again. He never swore, which made it even more unusual. For someone here to say something like that, that's almost unheard of. Wow, interesting. I don't really know what he did. He was forbidden from discussing his work for confidentiality reasons. He never talked about a certain new product he was working on? No, nothing specific. Did you notice anything unusual about your father before he disappeared? He had been acting kind of strange lately. Maybe things weren't going well at work. Your mother said he would have these breakdowns. Yes, he did. Now that you mention it, he's normally a calm person, so he definitely was different than usual. Yeah, he does have a tendency to worry at times, but nothing like that. Please try to think. Even the littlest thing might make a difference. In what other ways was he different? He would become very pensive and emotional. He was like somebody else altogether. I think he talked to Mum about something, but he never said anything to me. So, Lorraine did know something. Mum didn't tell me anything either. Hojo's hobbies. What are your father's hobbies? Hobbies? Well, he likes listening to CDs. No, Ed! No! You're gonna fall for it! CDs, nuts in your mouth? Shit! Yes, he has a lot of CDs he got when he was younger. Unusual, I know. I understand how that is. We come from the same time. That's his only hobby, per se. He doesn't have any friends. So would he spend his days off here? He was almost never home, since he and Mum didn't get along. Their relationship was made him into a workaholic. Whenever he was home, he would spend his time listening to music by himself. Dad's CDs are over on the shelves. Go take a look if you like. I'd say his work is his real hobby. I suppose he's your typical Tokugawa employee. Mum probably wasn't satisfied with that kind of husband. Yeah, I don't want a husband who's obsessed with his work. I want a husband was obsessed with my bedroom. Did you know someone called Michael Saito? He works at Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals. Saito? No, never heard of him before. Okay. That's a Japanese name, right? Actually, I do remember hearing it now. But there are a lot of people here with Japanese names, so it could be common. Okay. Lorraine.
ロレインのことは
母の仮葬儀は終わりました。母は友人も少なかったし、私だけの寂しい葬儀でした。
遺体は
難しいみたい。せめてお骨だけでもって思うんですけど。
残念ながらビヨンドへの遺体の持ち込みは許可されないでしょう。
父が知ったらどんなに悲しむか。
遺留品は
遺留品も無理らしいです。
そうですか。お気の毒に。
ロレインに君のこと頼むって言われた。
そうですか。
And then we become her stepfather. That would be weird, wouldn't it? Jonathan would be like, Yeah. She loved you more than my father. She was so happy when they found you. But I wasn't very nice to her. I felt sorry for Dad and everything. Also, just like the fact that she's the spitting image of Lorraine, like, when conceived as a child, got literally none of Hojo's, like, appearance, like, none of his features or anything. Just like, no, I'm literally a clone of Lorraine, and I feel that that is intentional. Especially as they're, like, I feel like there's gonna be... Considering Jonathan holding onto Lorraine's photo, and how she's a spitting image, and how he still has feelings for her, I wonder if that will manifest with this, which would be super weird, but also at the same time it might be like a point of interest. We'll have to see if there's any development there. I wouldn't be surprised. Alright, let's ask about Karen's job. I'm a news anchor with BBC. You always watch your program at my house. Are you off today? I'm taking some time off because of my health. I don't think anyone will know it's CG. There you go. The news they're showing right now is a CG me. I don't think anyone will be able to tell the difference. I want to know more about that. Tell me more about it. Her illness. Your mother was worried about an illness she said you have. Would you mind telling me about it? I have aplastic anemia. The hematopoietic stem cells in my bone marrow, the ones that create new blood, have become damaged and I can't produce blood cells properly. I can become anemic or get hemorrhages or be more susceptible to infection. That's why you're so pale, is it? Karen's not going to end up being like a Frozener, is she? What's the information that we have? What is all that information we got from Redwood about the whole blood cell thing? I mean, probably not a connection. That'd be interesting if, like, she was actually created, and they covered it up, and they've said that it's an illness instead. I don't know. Just my first thought. I've got aplastic anemia. Basically, it's a disease where you become unable to produce new blood. Fuck, I can't remember what Redwood was saying about his blood cells. How did you get such a serious illness? In my case, it was exposure to cosmic radiation here. I have secondary aplastic anemia. Unlike home, the surface of Beyond gets hit by a good deal of radiation. So they must offer some form of compensation, right? Unfortunately, they haven't set up anything official yet, no. Anti-space groups like the Repatriatists do offer support money, but I don't want to end up being used by people like them. Yeah, they were talking about them on the news. You were talking about them on the news, Karen. It was your show, actually. How do you treat something like that? Someone at your father's work was saying you need a bone marrow transplant. Yeah. Dad talked me into getting immunosuppressive drug therapy. I can see why he wanted me to try it, but it's not doing much. Apparently in moderate to severe cases like mine, hormone therapy has no effect either. That bad, huh? My only remaining option is a bone marrow transplant. A bone marrow transplant? They replace my damaged marrow with marrow from a healthy person, but in order to do the transplant, they need marrow from someone with the same HLA type as me. We still haven't found someone with my type. The transplant costs are enormous too. The transplant costs, hospitalization fees, immunosuppressants. I don't know where I'm going to get all the money even if we do find a donor. You don't look like you're strapped for cash or anything. It's more expensive than you think. Until recently, my position on the waiting list was 5, which is for people who can't even pay for the transplant. But last month, I finally got some hope. It looks like Dad got me moved up. I'm so grateful for everything he's done. I wonder if... I wonder if getting Karen moved up the list came at a cost, which is tied to his disappearance, or also the fact that he was angry at his job for something. I don't know. I feel like maybe there was a cost, you know, outside of financial or something like that, that there was a different type of cost for this transplant. It looks like Dad got me moved up. That might be relevant. Hojo's disappearance. Do you have any theories about what might have happened to your father? He's not the type of person to disappear and not tell anyone. He must have become involved in something. Did he mention anything particular before he went missing? Actually, yeah, the word Plato, several times. I don't know what he meant by it. I remember this being mentioned. Again with this Plato or Pluto, whatever it is. You can't recall anything else? I was away on assignment at the time. When I got back, Mum had already left for home. If I had been here, I wouldn't have let her do something like that. I hadn't talked much with Dad lately. What about the 15th of last month? The 15th? You mean the last time anyone saw Dad? Like I said, I was away on assignment. There's no sign of anyone having had contact with him after the 15th. Okay. So you don't know what he could have meant by this Plato or Pluto thing? Your mother mentioned it too. I wish I knew. There's nowhere with a name like that here. Maybe it's some sort of code name. Ooh, maybe it's some sort of code name. Okay. Okay. Those are all the options. Let's have a look at the CDs. Nuts. Ah, nice. Look at that. These are the CD shelves. This is Dad's hobby. Listening to music is probably his favorite thing in the world besides work. I can see why, what with this setup, he must enjoy it a great deal. He's almost got every genre you could imagine here. CDs are an antique media nowadays. Yeah, how do they listen to music in the future? I wonder if they've got like... I wonder if they've actually got like music players, and I'm assuming it'll be digital files. They got any iPods in the future, dude? Right, but Dad doesn't like the quality you get with optical discs. This is some collection. Your dad seems like a real audiophile. Optical discs, okay. These CDs will use 3D data codes, right? Yes, that's correct. Would you like to put something on? Oh, let's have a look. The cover says Home. Written and performed by La Nakamura. La Nakamura. Cover says Nobody Knows. Written and performed by La Nakamura. Okay, we've got a favorite artist. Cover says Snatcher. One Night in Neo Kobe City. Unreleased remix. Written and performed by Motoaki Furukawa. I'm assuming that is the Snatcher, a song from the Snatcher soundtrack, which is another one of his games, another one of Kojima's games, which is on my to-do list. I think it came out before this one, so Snatcher is one that we're going to play as well. 28 Years, written and performed by Ika-chan. Girls, 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 written and performed by La Nakamura. Beyond Coast. Shadows, Tappy. And we can play all of these, damn. Holy shit. Dear Friend. I don't know if any of these are... I don't know if that's an actual musical artist, so I'm kind of like scared to end up playing some potentially potentially copyrighted artists or anything like that. What was it? How's it spelt? I'm just going to quickly check to see if it's an actual artist. Maybe? I don't think so. Nothing really comes up. I don't think so. I think we're okay. That's a fictional artist name. You never know. You never know. Especially with Kojima does like to put actual artist music in his games, especially with Death Stranding. BCP. It's just, I'm assuming this must be, maybe that's like the composer. Maybe that's even the composer, and this is just music from... This feels like it might just be music from the actual game itself. It's feeling more and more like that the more I look into this stuff, that it literally says like stuff like Beyond Coast and BCP and stuff like that. Like nobody's gonna have a single that's called BCP in universe, you know what I mean? So I'm assuming this must be soundtrack stuff, and I'm looking too deep into it. Owlcat. Polynet Warriors, the decade. Contributions from... Okay. Tokugawa. I wonder if these will actually be clues in here as well. We'll have to play some that might stand out. Children of the Dream. We got any Metal Gear soundtracks in here? My Love. Bike Ride. Doing Just Fine. Tokyo Mambo. There's got to be Metal Gear in here somewhere, right? Too Late Blues. Fling Girls. Okay, that's 3 the same. Home Sweet Home. Anna's Theme, Part 1. Chase. Okay. Reunion. Memoir de la Neige. Aberesque. Sweet Hippo. Hell yeah, Sweet Hippo, dude. Beyond Morning. Love Theme, again. Legendary Faces. Nakamura Blues. Okay. Tappy's Works. Mission 307. Mission 307. Polynet Warriors. Another one. Calling Your Name. Femme Fatale. Femme Fatale. First Triangle. This one. Oh. Hey, this one doesn't have a title. It's a blank CD case. Maybe it's from a private collection of his. Ooh. There's our clue. There's our one that stands out among the rest. The blank CD case. Magic Subway. No. Criminal Investigation, Part 1. Old LA 2040 short version. It's definitely so much soundtrack of the game in here. Past Year at Sunset Beach. Mist. Are these both the same? Yep. Not Made in Texas. L'amour impossible. Festival on Beyond. Living in the Real World. Damn. No Metal Gear. There was a Snatcher. There's a Snatcher one in here, but no Metal Gear. Which one was the Snatcher one? There it is. This one. Can we listen to this? Sure, go ahead. It's a shame that you can't check out the other ones while music is playing. We've had to do this in silence the whole time because we only get the choice to stop. That's cool. Home. Home. Ooh, Pink Floyd, baby. Give me that Pink Floyd vibes. Yeah, that's so sick, dude. Beyond Coast. Have we listened to this one before in the actual game? We're just running through them just to see. I just fucking love that this is like an in-game CD case thing, and we can actually like we can actually listen to every single one. For the interest of time, let's play the unnamed one, because I think this is going to be the one that we're here for. Not at all.
おかしいな。
What's with this
音
one?
楽が鳴らない。
変ね。ほんとノイズばかりね。
I don't know, man. There's no title on this one. It's just a bunch of noise too. It's a blank CD case. I feel like there's something else for it. It might not be a musical one. We might need to take it with us. Maybe it's broken. Ah, I meant to say look again. Can't we take it with us, guys? No? Interesting. Alright, we'll have to leave that for later then. Definitely feels like one that we'd want to investigate. Just checking out the full CD case. Maybe can we talk about it? Nope. Okay. Well, what do we do now? Just listen to a bunch of music. There's a nice view you have there. You don't have any screens for your windows? There are hardly any insects on Beyond, so window screens aren't that important. The only bugs you find here are ones like bees for pollinating flowers, flies for decomposing waste, and earthworms for enriching soil. We never need to open a window either, really. Every house in Beyond comes complete with its own life support system. They're as self-contained as any spaceship. You never know when a leak in the colony could occur. I like opening the windows, though. There's something relaxing about it. You can see outside perfectly. That's adjustable glass for you. Are these plants real? Yes, they're selectively bred to absorb large amounts of carbon dioxide. It's nice having the room full of fresh air all the time. Well... It's a makeup stand. Mum gave it to me when I turned 20. In Japanese culture, you're regarded as an adult when you reach 20. The mirror that used to go on top is broken though, now I just use it for the drawers. Is there anywhere else in the house we can go? Hojo's room, okay.
北条さんの部屋を見せてもらえないかな。
父の部屋。ああ、書斎なら。
書斎があるんですか。
ええ。
それじゃあ書斎を見せてもらえますか。
どうぞこっちです。
Nice. Transition.
ここが父の書斎の日本間です。
He's got an ashtray, dude. No chair, rocking with the blank desk ashtray. I guess they just sit down on the ground, right? They sit down on a pillow. And then I guess chairs are just for sort of like the office setup. This is where you'd relax. It's a low seating desk. Is it an ashtray?
そのカードは
Oh, it's a card. Oh, it's the ID card, baby.
父の ID カードじゃないかしら。それは確か予備のコピーカードです。
Nice.
父は用心深い人でしたから。
カレンさん、ちょっとこれ預かってもいいかな。
Nice.
いいですけど、徳川には内緒ですよ。コピーがあったなんて知れたら大変ですから。
Maybe you left that behind as a clue just in case. It literally looks like an ashtray on the desk for me. This is an odd desk. Where's the chair? It's a zashiki desk, a desk you place on tatami. You sit on the floor with your legs folded under you. That's right.
日本古来の家紋標です。
Japanese family
父
crests.
はどうしてこんなものを貼っていたんでしょう。家紋の下に大役が書かれているわ。
The one on the left is Tokugawa, yeah. The one on top left is Tokugawa. Obviously, the one on the bottom, just to the right there, everybody knows that that's actually the Triforce. That's the Zelda family. Right there. Odd. The Tokugawa logo comes from their family crest, right? He had to have a reason for putting this here. Alright, what is it actually? Let's see what it says. Soun Hojo, the Hojo Uruko, or scales. It says the scales come from a dragon. This isn't my father's family crest. Even though his family name is Hojo, it's not the actual crest he uses. This is speaking in general terms. There's a legend about its origin. One night, the regent of Kamakura, Tokimasa Hojo, went to pray for the prosperity of his descendants at Enoshima. when a half-human, half-snake woman appeared before him and gave him 3 scales. He tried to ensure that prosperity by making the scales into his family crest. So these are snake scales. That's cool. Obviously, what I was saying about Zelda is a joke. But it's interesting to get an actual, some actual information about this sort of crest. Takatsuna Sasaki, the Meiyui. This belongs to the Omi-Genji clan, which was of which Sasaki was a member. It's supposed to represent a dying pattern, or so I heard. Hideki Kobayakawa, the crest of the Katori family, originating from the Katori Shrine in Chiba Prefecture. The Katori Shrine also uses the Goshinicho Kiri. There's so many words here I've never once read or said out loud before, so you will have to apologize for butchering every single name on screen. A Polonia flower pattern? That's what I heard anyway. Nagamasa Asai, Kanhanabishi inside Mitsumori Kiko, the flower diamonds inside 3 tortoise shells. This is from the Itsukushima. Oh my god, it's so hard trying to just read it in a perfect sentence before reading the word first. Itsukushima. It's Itsukushima Shrine in Hiroshima Prefecture. It came from the shape of a large boulder in front of a subordinate shrine, or so I heard. It's like when you're trying to read like a script for the first time as like an actor and you just try and like nail it first try without even practicing or pronouncing anything. That's what it's like whenever I read things to you. Sometimes it can be a struggle, dude. Mitsunari Yoshida, the Kuyo. It says that the Kuyo, I think it's Ku, so it's like a Kuyo, were heavenly bodies originally used for fortune telling in ancient India. This looks somewhat familiar. Yeah? I can't think of anything. Ooh, apparently that looks familiar. Also, another thing that's like, with my accent and my pronunciation and saying things, it's also quite bad. At least I can acknowledge that. I do try. I'm not trying to make fun of it. I'm trying to actually properly state it. It just sounds... it's hard when I haven't practiced it. Toshie Maeda, the Kaga Umabachi, or Kaga plum blossom. Maeda designed this to stand out from all other plum crests that were around at the time. Some people think he was a descendant of the Sugihara family, or so I heard. Ieyasu Tokugawa, the Tokugawa Aoi, or hollyhocks. It says this became the Matsudaira family crest from their relationship with the Kamo shrines, and was later inherited by Tokugawa. We have them to thank for that putrid logo. Oh, so that's the Tokugawa logo. For some reason I thought it was this one because of the pieces. Ah, Saito, there you go. That's where she would recognize Saito from. Dosan Saito, the Nadashiko, or fringed pink. It says he was the one who originally made this flower into a crest. So that's where Saito comes from. And that's the Tokugawa crest, the hollyhocks. There. Okay. That's a hanging scroll, or a kagejiku. Kakejiku? Is it a talisman? It's a Japanese custom to decorate the alcove with art and writing.
それはロレインの
母さんの仏壇。
仏壇。
まだホームから遺体が届いてませんけど。
遺体をビヨンドへ入れるには手続きが非常に難しいんだ。
母さんも日系人だから仏壇に。
ロレインが死んだのは俺の責任だ。彼女は助けを求めてきた。俺を頼って。しかし俺は彼女を追い返した。辛かったんだ。
でも母さんは幸福だったはずです。あなたに会えて。それが何よりもの慰め。
She's turned around a little bit in terms of her sort of opinion on that. She was like, "You're the reason she's dead." This is actually the Hojo family altar. I never imagined I'd need to use it for this so soon. Is this an empty photo frame, or...? That's Japanese colored paper, or origami. Dad wrote one of his favorite words on it. What does it say? I'm just like, are you duo? You fuck, man. Like, I can't read these words. I'm sorry. It means the high road. He used to say one should always walk the high road. Dad tells me he owes his success as a scientist to living by this philosophy. Is this adjustable glass? That's Shoji Glass. It's made to resemble shoji. It's a high-tech glass that lets you control the permeability of light. Shoji are Japanese screens or doors made out of Japanese paper called washi. Yeah, I know those. Okay. What's this on the floor? These are tatami mats. You lay them on the floor of Japanese-style rooms or washitsu like this one. These ones aren't real straw, though. Why is this area of the room higher than the rest? That's the alcove, or the tokunoma. It's a special area of the room reserved for placing decorations. Carrying on traditions ain't cheap. Okay, I guess we'll talk to her about this room, right? Karen? What is it? I wonder if I'll ask about this now. Okay, nope. There's nothing new in there, I don't think. And then... we can show the ID card. It's a copy, so don't tell anyone at Tokugawa about it. Of course not, we promise. Okay. Drawers? What's in these drawers? There was Sumi and Suzuri in them before, but they're empty now. There was what? Sumi and Suzuri, ink and ink stones. You can use them in calligraphy. Okay. I think the reason why we came here was obviously for the ID card, so it seems to reason that we could use that ID card maybe either to access something at the hospital or to access something under the supervision of that guard at the Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals. So I think we're good to move on now from here. Head back to the living room. So we came here for a reunion with Karen, but mostly for that ID card. So I don't know if there's anything else for us to do. We should probably leave.
カレンさん、どうも役に立ちましたよ。
カレン、すまなかった。
私、真実を知りたい。だから約束してくださる？どんなことが分かっても父に関すること、私に隠さないで教えてください。母に代わって依頼料は払います。
分かった。約束しよう。しかし金はいらない。この件はロレイン本人から頼まれたものだ。依頼人はロレインと俺本人だ。
It's personal.
ジョナサンって呼んでもいいかしら。
ああ。
ジョナサン、私さっきは言い過ぎたわ。ごめんなさい。
カレンさん、ロレインがあんなことになったんだ。あなたも安全とは言えん。何かあればすぐ BCP まで連絡してください。部下を送ります。
ありがとう。
じゃあ、カレン。
ジョナサン。
なんだ？
あなたずっとタバコ加えてたわね。
こいつは病気なんだ。気に障ったのなら。
いえ、母からはそんな話聞いたことないから。
大丈夫。このビヨンドにいればやめるさ、きっと。
そうね。じゃあ。
失礼するよ。
It's like, Karen, I mean, she's like, can I call you Jonathan? No, call me by my full name.
時間がかかるが。
Jonathan Instagram.
彼女も分かってくれる。
だといいが。
Interesting. Cool. All right. Well, we've explored the pharmaceuticals as much as we could until probably most likely a revisit, and then the Hojo household. And with that one, guys, we're going to bring this episode of Policenauts to a close. We're just doing that, very thorough investigative detective work. Some pretty cool stuff. I like that this game is a bit of a change of pace from what I'm currently playing. It's a lot more like kind of chilled out and quite dialogue heavy. We're just going through some stuff. I'm actually really curious about this story, and I really like the relationships between all the characters. So it's cool to play an older game with a different gameplay experience. It's a lot of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying the playthrough so far, and I assume most of you who are watching are either curious about this game already or probably already a fan of it, having maybe played it when it came out or something like that. So hope you guys are enjoying my playthrough of it, and we'll bring this one to a close. I'll see you next time, where we're going to head to the hospital and maybe back to the pharmaceuticals lab. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you then.